Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsyreplays and welcome back to channel. Today we're going to be looking at 1 versus 5s, but more about keeping your nerve. Now, a lot of time, and it happens to people all the time. When you are having such a good game and it's like a 1 versus 5 or 1 versus 4, you know you've got good damage, your heart rate starts to go. You start getting the shakes, you start making mistakes. That was a rhyme. I could be a poet. And I don't even know it. So you start getting the shakes and you start panicking and you worry, and that's when you do start making the mistakes and ultimately you start messing up. Now, we're going to have 3 battles where it ends in a 1 versus 5 and they keep their nerves. It's so important to keep your nerves. Try and not make the mistakes and don't just sit there and think, you know, game over. It's never ever game over until you are dead. Remember that I have seen people win 1 versus 5s with 100 hit points, 1 versus 6s with 1,000 hit points. It's never ever over until it's over. So we're going to watch Scorp here. He's in the Conway and he's already done 2.5k damage and all of his team vanished. They all gone. He is using the big derpy gun on the Conway, and what he decides to do is just go in the corner of the map. Now, what he does here, and what I like about this, is there's 5 enemies on the enemy team. Now, if he goes into a corner of the map, what is the chances of all 5 tanks coming to a corner of the map? When there's 5 tanks left, if you're in a game and there's 5 tanks and you're chasing a light tank or a medium tank, how often do you all go the same way? You don't. You shouldn't. You should separate. And what I mean by separating is because it just happens. Because it's 5 tanks, you automatically think, well, we can't lose this. So you separate, all looking for this tank. And with 5 of you looking in all different directions, the majority of the time, you're going to find the tank pretty quickly. But unfortunately for the enemy team here, it doesn't go their way. And he's now bringing it down to a 1 versus 4. He's got that shot on the AMX. He's now running into a different direction, because if he is in that corner and if he stays in that corner, he's going to get absolutely wrecked and he's going to get trapped. At least him running away, yes, he did get shot, but he's now bringing it to a 1 versus 3. He's going to get that shot on the KV4, bringing him now down to a 1 shot. So him moving away from that corner, he wasn't trapped there. He now has different positions he can go in. He does get lucky there with the ISU, manages to reload just before the ISU can get the shot off, but all of a sudden he's on 5,000 damage, 3 kills, and it's 1 versus 2, and the KV4 is a 1 shot. And now this is where you start believing, actually, I'm going to win this. There is no way I'm going to lose this. So there's also an E75 who's a 1 shot, so he does go for the E75 first. He's the most dangerous target. And all of a sudden, it's a 1 versus 1. He's still on 857 damage. So he only literally took 1 shot. And even there, look, no bullshit. He only took 1 shot. 1 shot when he was a 1 versus 5. And he manages to bring it back. And you can see the reaction there from his team. Wow. He gets to Kolobanov. 1 versus 5, and he only gets himself a 1st class for his efforts. Probably because at the beginning of the game, he didn't do so well. Now, next up, we have the Super Persian, and it's Party Boy, and he's on Castilla. Now, this one, I do feel sorry for Party Boy, because it's a 1 versus 5, but technically, it's not a 1 versus 5. Because he doesn't get the Kolobanov medal, because unfortunately for him, there is an AFK on his team, and because of that AFK, it stops him getting that Kolobanov medal. So it is an encounter game, and as a medium, he has gone to flank around by this hill, and he's going to get some side shots when he gets up the hill. Now, his team have 2 mediums and a light tank, and the enemy team have a light tank and a medium. So he has decided to push this hill, and at the moment, he is on his own. He's got the Persian that is coming up behind him, who is actually there at the moment, but he is the guy that goes AFK later on in the game. So look how slow this tank is up the hill. It's a medium tank, and just look how slow it is. 9-10 kilometers per hour going up the hill. So now he's up the hill, he can start to get some shots off, and straight away he spots the SU-152, gets a shot. He's not yet spotted, so hopefully he can get one more shot. Can he get that shot? He does blind shoot, but I'm not sure at the moment if he gets the pen. So he's not just going to wait around. He's not just going to sit there whilst his team dies and farming damage. He's going to go search for these tanks. So at the moment, you can see the smasher on his team is absolutely getting wrecked. There's, what, 4 tanks there. There's the lightweight. He does get that shot on the lightweight. The SU-152 becomes available. He is going to get a shot on the SU-152. And then the Stirrer and Mill is also spotted to his right. So now he's going to try and get some shots in on that Super Persian. Gets one shot, but there goes the smasher. So now it is a 6 versus 7. And it's got a lot harder. So he's going to poke up this hill, and he's going to try and get some shots in on this Emil. Get some nice HE roll there, 338 just before the Emil turns around. And as the Emil turns around, again, he can get another HE shot into him. So the Emil is just trying to back up enough so Party Boy can't get some shots. But Party Boy is going to rush him, he's going to face hug him, he's going to get the bounce. But at this time, it is a 5 versus 7. He needs to take this guy out sharpest, so he can start dealing with the tanks that are dealing with his team. So he does unfortunately bounce the troll armor of the Emil, but there goes the Persian. The Persian is going to take him out, and this is where I think the Persian goes AFK. You can see him moving. No, he's just stopped moving, and he doesn't move no longer. So at the moment, it is a 5 versus 6. Well, now technically a 4 versus 6 with that AFK. And he can now flank around and try and help his TD and his heavy tanks with all the enemy pretty much all together around this hill area. So he's now going to get behind him. There goes the Super Persian, so it's now a 5 versus 4. That is going to change very, very quickly. Unfortunately, misses that shot on the SU-152. He's LTTB, I think it is. Yep, he's LTTB comes to help him. There goes the SU. There goes the LTTB. There goes the IS-2SH. And all of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 5. Well, a 1 versus 5 because of that AFK. So now he has got a lot of work to do. Luckily, he's still full hit points, so he can take a few shots. He brings the SU-152 down to a 1 shot. He is going to get shot from the T-34. Now, the armor on this tank, oh, what is that T-54 doing? The armor on this tank is very good, but the hatches is very, very weak. So with him being in that position, yes, he's hold down, but this T-34 can just get his gun down and shoot his hatch. So he's now bringing it down to a 1, effectively a 1 versus 4. There's still a full hit point IS there. He's now backing up. He's backing up, and he's going to find an AMX M445, who does shoot him in the rear. So he's just going to turn around, and now because of turning around, the other 2 tanks are going to come from behind. And at the moment, he is absolutely getting wrecked, but he's going for the lower hit point targets. And again, once he's reloaded, taken the AMX out, he can turn and deal with these 2 tanks. Now, he's not so worried about the IS. The IS just doesn't seem like a good player at all. He takes out the T-34, the only tank that has actually been penetrating him. And now it's just himself versus an IS and a 1-shot SU-152, with his Persian still AFK. Now, he's angling, he's dangling, and he's getting bounces from this IS. Which is great. 1400 block damage. He's on now 4300. He needs to take this guy out. It only takes a HE shot from this IS to clear the Super Persian, but people don't tend to shoot HE a lot, especially when it is needed. And all of a sudden, he brings the IS, and it's now a 1 versus 1. 4,700 damage. He, again, as I've said, he does need to be careful because the SU-152 just needs to splash him with HE for the win. So he's going to reset his camo, and he's going to come in from a different direction, a direction where he actually has cover. If he were to come around from where he would be side on to this tank, and it would be easily pennable for the SU-152. So he's just going to come up, see if he can spot. There he is. He is spotted, and he's going to no-scope the guy, and he is going to kill him. So a 1 versus 5. Unfortunately, doesn't get that medal because of that damn Persian who went AFK. But still, very, very well played, Party Boy, and thank you for sending me that in. Now, last battle is an amazing battle. We are watching Death Star in a 268. And again, it is on Castilla. Now, the enemy got 2 mediums, his team had 3 mediums. So he's going to make the decision, he's going to see where his heavy tanks are going, and you can see the heavy tanks are heading towards C. So he is going to go in the TD spot. Being the only TD in the game, it's a very, very good spot to go, and probably one of the best TD spots in, other than Dead Rail, it's probably one of the best TD spots in the whole entire game. So he's going to go up here. His team are going towards A as well. His medium tanks have gone towards A. His heavies are going towards C, and he is in the middle here. So he can get some shots on the heavies. He can get shots on the mediums if they're spotted. So all around a very, very good position. Now, first up, he's going to get a shot on the T-34, who is foul tuning a tier 8 in a tier 10 game, automatically bringing that T-34 down to a 1-shot. And now he's going to get some shots on the IS-8, bringing him down also to a 1-shot if he can high roll. So 2 shots done, 2 tanks now on a 1-shot. Seems easy. Seems a pretty easy battle. And there goes the IS-8. So now it's a 7 versus 6. And as I've just said, seems pretty easy. There is a T-34 down to a 1-shot. It's just like you can't lose. And his medium tanks are getting rushed by the Progetto. And the Progetto and the Leopard PTA are going to take the Leopard PTA out on his team. And this is what I mean by good position. Shots from the left, shots from the right. Nice shot there on the Leopard PTA. So he's now going to back up because he thought he was going to get spotted. So we're just going to speed this up. And we know that these tanks are around here because the tier 8 on his team, which is the Centurion, he's getting shot and the Centurion is just not moving. And now the enemy start to cap A. So he's going to head towards A. He's not going to be able to reset it, but he definitely knows there is a tank there. And he's going to get that shot on the Progetto, bringing now the Progetto down to a 1-shot. Whilst the Leopard is not around here, I mean, the Leopard is up there looking at the heavies, I would have probably rushed the Progetto. But he is on a reload, so he waited until he reloads, and then he is going to poke forward and try and get that shot. But here now comes the Leopard PTA. Didn't quite get that shot, unfortunately. That would have brought the Leopard down to a 1-shot. And he has got the HE loaded. He's going to try and high roll, but unfortunately does low roll. And now he needs a high roll or a nice HE roll to clear this guy. So he's going to try the HE. Here comes the Leopard. He needs a high, but again, he doesn't quite finish him off. 27 damage, and it's his team from to the left side. You can see they are just falling apart, and it's now a 3 versus 5. He does take out the Progetto. It was a 3 versus 6, but his team now just vanishing. It's a 2 versus 5. He needs to take this Leopard out, and all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 5. So he really needs to take this Leopard out very, very quickly before the enemy tank start heading towards. And he does. HE is all that is needed. But he does get lucky. He does get lucky. It's not just, I mean, a 1 versus 5. This is an amazing game, don't get me wrong. But he does get lucky because a lot of the other enemy tanks are, I think 3 out of the 4 now are all 1-shot. So here comes the SU, 1-shot, splash HE in the face, he's gone, and all of a sudden it is a 1 versus 3. The next tank comes along, which is that T-34. Again, he's a 1-shot, so he's going to use the heat just to get on the hatch because it's still got a very nice turret, and he's gone as well, bringing it now down to a 1 versus 2. Don't forget, he's on 5 kills as well, so to win this game, he needs a 1 versus 5 Rosani medal to win this game, and he's already on 5.5k damage. He does need to push though because the enemy have got cap A. He hasn't decided to retake the cap from them, but the enemy haven't took cap C, which is weird. Again, E75, 1-shot, clears him, and now all that is left is this Yag Tiger. So he is going to get shot from the Yag Tiger, but he reloads way before, and he can take him out for his 7th kill. 1 versus 5, 6,300 damage. A great battle. So if you find yourself in a 1 versus 5 situation, 1 versus 4, 1 versus 3, try and keep your nerve. The game is not over until it's over. I'm Meadsy69. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon.